When playing so much Final Fantasy that I decided to do something real simple, real stupid, real fun. Biolab Wars. 8-bit style shooter game. And also its level of its price is shovelware. Especially with the ludicrous 90% discount I got to it, which made it something that even the regular price is something that you wanna buy a bottle of Coke or this game, and it would still be this game cheaper. And with 90% discount, it was even more ridiculously cheap. But the plot is simple. There's aliens, and a bunch of mercenaries are sent to kill them. So let's just take a play, and I already played through this. And you got 4 different characters, which basically are all just the same character with different cosmetics around them. But let's just pick up the most with the style of man, woman, something else, and something else. So, but let's just start with the guy. And they all play identically. You can run. You can do a jump. You can shoot with a pea-shooter gun. There's snakes to kill or shoot. And that was quite simple. You could say play a tutorial about how things go, and the timer at the top does not actually mean time limit in the sense that once it runs out you die. It means it's a bonus counter that once it runs out you don't get any time bonus. You can take as long as you want with that level stage. And in addition to gun, you have a grenade. And of course, sometimes you might find yourself in a bad position to get there. In addition to spread gun, there's this laser gun thing. And there's running soldiers around. They start shooting at you once you turn around. And the game is very, you could say, generous about giving you these ammo pickups and weapon pickups for extra weapons, just to make it much more generous. And in addition to shooting, you can lob grenades. They do lots of damage. They do more damage than your gun. Although the spread gun, once you go to the point blank range, will cause much more damage. And a boss fight. Lauma alien. First boss is simple. It just stands there, does nothing. So, with the spread gun, just lay low and start spewing bullets at it. Let's just use some grenades. First boss goes down, and the walk cycle is quite funny. And in addition to walking and shooting and ducking with the funny legs up pose, you can also shoot up and diagonally. Oh yeah, motorcycle riding, and no animation to get it. And that was the stage 1. And there's 7 stages in total. Game is not, you could say, particularly long, but you could say it's having egg. And the second stage is for some reason the motorcycle stage. And on that, the motorcycle stage, a preferable way of handling things, at least to me, is just stay at the right side edge of the and I do say that the music is actually quite good. in addition to... Well, the game's got 3 special weapons. The regular pea shooter gun, then you got the... Then you got the spread gun, then you got the laser beam gun which does more damage, and this one which shoots 3 directions directly, meaning that with this you can theoretically shoot anywhere. But that is not so much of that kind of really big deal. And of course life pickups do sporadically appear to make your life easier. Literally. You can take something like a 4 hits before untimely demise. Or timely demise. However you could say that. And the game does throw enemies at this stage quite liberally at you, so the difficulty of this stage is way more than it was in the first stage. But I do say that the controls are actually very accurate. And despite the game having this kind of pixelated, quite low color, 8-bit style graphics, it really doesn't feel like it because of the amount of animation frames is just so much. There's also quite a lot of colors, so... And another boss enemy, Baby Trapper. It shoots 3 times. Then it tries to ram you over. And the bosses also, if it hasn't already become absolutely obvious, are very much pattern-based. They just repeat the same loop of doing things until they die when you kill them. That was the second stage, the motorcycle stage. And after that there won't be any that kind of, you could say, gimmick levels. They are all just regular run around shooting stuff. And now I got now there's some and no reason to be cheapskate in this game regarding ammunition you use. You have quite a lot of it. And haven't checked that. Do these flashy beams. Are they actually, you could say, instant death or just damage causers? I'm perfectly honest, I am not particularly interested in fighting out. But in general sense, I would say that this game... I would say that this could be some sort of, you could say, something like a... for those who developed it, this feels to be, might be something like a show reel, that they made the game just to prove that they can make a decent game, which they have done. The game is decent. Playability is... well, the replayability might not be that great because of the game being... because the replayability, they just being always completely same all the time. There's no random element in it. Once you play through it, you know what's coming up and you have no problem getting through it. And also the fact that, well, it's got a generous difficulty, I would say. That not not intense, not merciless, generous. You have plenty of time to watch how things pattern, figure out where the enemies are coming, and all that, and that corridor. Yeah, that was a mini boss. I just brute force shot it dead. But there are some, you could say, they added some crumbling floors, but there was nothing, you could say, truly unknowable of them, so you can just quite easily clear up the path and then just go through it. Although that bubbling stuff down there most likely is very obviously a instant death pit. And in addition to basic guns, you also get these little drone things like this chicken which shoots stuff, but they also they can take damage and die. I'm just using the grenades because, and for some reason, having played Contra, I feel that the bread gun is the best. And third boss, Skull Guardian. Skull Guardian moves on the track and shoots electrical beam down, stops and shoots electrical beam below. Nothing you could say truly groundbreaking as much as boss designs go. But now the game throws up difficulty up and up because the boss fight ain't over. It's now boss fights now have multiple phases. But it's still extremely pattern-based gameplay style, so looks like I ran out of ammunition for my big gun. But it doesn't really matter because infinite ammo for the main gun is really good, and there's no any kind of you need to get perfect score, perfect aim to get that any kind of matters. But yeah, third stage with third boss gone. And the boss life bar is real nice, you could say, convenience for the player's sake to let them know that how far they are. Oops. That was nice bit of, you could say, player training. Giving that little log over there to show that that kind of things will be occurring here. Meaning temporary platforms which drop down, and those pests which fly around towards you are quite annoying because of them being small. And this game really doesn't have any kind of, you could say, area of effect weapon that you could use to wipe them out real fast and efficiently. Wiping them out as you go along is the best policy. And another of these drone type of enemies, or however you wanna call it. And those guys, despite them being something like a most regular cannon fodder type of enemies, are not something that you would really consider to be shoot on sight is the policy of the game. That you really don't go wrong following. I'm using my grenades quite liberally. There's not much use of hoarding them. Yep. And are those guys something like immune to grenades? I don't know about that, but they went down quite nicely. Dead, kind of down. And now it comes this kind of vertical upwards platforming section with a 1-up again. Yay, game's generous, it gives me 1-ups. It really wants me to get through the game. Although there is no points-based way to get 1-ups, which were a thing in Contra that this game quite much borrows from, as much as I can say, except in their difficulty level. And Contra's also got quite much of that zany humor without very little of, you could say, sanity in it. But this game's very much, you could say, well, quite straight-laced in its presentation. Not really grim, because, well, can you, in this kind of era, make this kind of game without some sort of silliness, especially if you use this kind of art style, which is to say, pixelated art style. I'm skipping over that one, I'm just taking the... And here comes a boss, you could say, that is, I would say this to be one of the more... Yeah, it appears, comes up, it has that beam attack it shoots, which leaves also a fire residue. And it takes quite a long time for the fire to put out, and yes, it does damage you if you... So I do my best to avoid taking that. Working. Quite silly name as expected from some sort of mechanized... Three grenades takes down the first phase. And that one, it has quite a, you could say, thin window of getting out from the fire path, so... Or at least it might be something like a switching around. But that's the basic tactics. It just appears from the other side, and then you just have to put some bullets into its body as it's coming along. The difficulty of this fight is also very generous. I wouldn't say not generous, but because it's pattern based, from what you recognize it, you don't have basically any problem with it. And I even got some time bonuses. Stage 4. And now I would say almost the stereotypically expected mobile vehicle level. Why such stage exists in this game, I don't know. It's very it feels that they very deliberately, well, took many of these level archetypes of these kind of science fiction side-scrolling shooters, but they just slapped it in. They didn't so much. It isn't that much of, you could say, well, they don't need much reasons to put these kind of stages in. They just slap them in. Although it does still have, you could say, general fitting to the style of the game. And of course there are also these dangling bars that the hero massively carries with one arm. And now the enemies come up in pairs, but they still follow the basic pattern of just shooting stuff quite randomly, so obviously not randomly, but just shooting stuff. With very, you could say, predictable patterns, so nothing strange in that. Going forward. Lob couple of grenades to that shield guy just because it's in the front and it doesn't he doesn't open up. I think that if this game would have come out something like a late 80s, it would have been considered quite good. It would be considered maybe even great, and it still ain't. I still don't say that it's bad. And for its price, I say it's an excellent game. Damn, lost my spread gun. But well, that's not much of a big deal. It seems that the Imagine, or whatever this weapon is called, does its work quite well. More enemies, and now I have the triple direction gun. And like all the enemies of that kind of type, that one is quite stupid. You ain't gonna survive me. And now it's a boss fight. I would say this is the first, actually you could say, difficult boss fight. Papa Chicken. Papa Chicken spews out chickens. That's why it's called Papa Chicken. And judging by the number of those hooks or beams or stuff it shoots at you, that much you're gonna drop from these handling bars. It means that you may drop right into that chain and take damage. And of course, after the first phase, it comes back. And now it's got the big beam attack as well. Shit! Damn, die! Yep, it's not the... Well, there goes the no death run. And this boss's difficult part is not its own attacks, but the chickens it summons. And the fact that you can't shoot any odd directions when you are actually on the monkey bar. Which is really bad. And I do say that this is the most difficult boss of the game. There's no doubt about that. Because of the double beam attack, double attack. Yeah. Well, I'm quite certain that I'm gonna get through this. Damn it, forgot that it alternates that style of... Damn Damn it, once again I made a mistake. And luckily the big death beam shoots doesn't... Shit, I was that close. Yeah, it's quite often these kind of games that just one attack or one combination factor. First phase without taking any damage. That's actually good progress. Some lives, but I beat it. But still, it wasn't pleasant to get that many losses of life losses, because that's the toughest boss. But now it's the snow stage. And it's also got these conveyor belt things. So you could say that the level of originality in this game's level design is not much, and of course there's also spike pits. But luckily the conveyor belts are... they have... and no, you really can't use conveyor belts as a way to boost yourself some extra forward momentum. When you jump, all your forward momentum from the whatever thing you did dies right there. So jumping is always recommended method of doing things. Especially because you have completely accurate control of the jumping physics and all that. I think that's the word. They do vary from game to game, of course, because all the games which have platforming want it to be kind of different of their own. Let's get some jumping of extra life. And almost get killed. No, and there's absolutely no reason to spare your use of ammunition. Shoot as much as you want. Ammo and a chicken. And of course, if this game would be made into, you could say, even more modern style, it would have... Oh, that was quite close of not getting this one up. Well, I do say that the nice thing about this game is that there is no blind jumps. That if you see this kind of location to go down, you don't have to twist your direction to any other left or right during that jump to avoid damage. All these kind of blind drops are safe to do, which is really nice feature of design they put in this game. So you could say that the level design, I would say that looks more oh, spikes don't kill, they just damage. Although I think that falling to that spike pits would be quite much dead because of seeing how difficult it would be to get out from that. It looks like the hitbox is not necessarily the most friendly thing. Whoop! Oops! Well, got through. And now I face big boy. I already went down. Oh, except he didn't. Ah, damn it. My mistake. Alright. Jump right here. Avoid the spike. Being quiet because I am focusing on killing the boss. And now it goes down. And these second phase or later phase bosses are tend to be tougher because of they have more phases. And once again, this seems to be some sort of shooting liberally and generously to everything is, well, it's the standard policy in these kind of games. And of course the oops, my mistake. Got too eager to jump forward. Don't forget that the jumping arc is not that, you could say, it's quite vertical. It doesn't have that much horizontal movement in it, so to get where you want to go, you really need to get far enough at the dangling bar to get where you actually want to go. But with that gone, Carefully jumping over all those obstacles. And that is the sound of big instant death beam, which you are very much recommended to avoid, or it does that to you. Yeah, that also that big giant instant death beam you have to avoid is also quite, you could say, okay. Here goes the sled. But enjoy the benefit of big giant death beam blowing up your enemies. Like that one as well. And I really like that detail that the giant death beam is not blasted without any kind of care through the corridor. It's not just a hazard to you, it blasts out everything. And that's a, you could say, nice little design detail that show that, yep, and that was the big giant death beam gun. And now I faced a obvious mini-boss, Bazuzo, who does very extremely recognizable, easy to follow, easy to exploit pattern of walking towards you, dashing around half screen. That one I don't know, does the following flame or something cause you damage? It is plausible. And I'm not in particular interested in finding out. And doing the dash, it actually does. Now it takes up and it has a new move of just dropping down and that stuff it drops on the roof is a real bad one because it's quite impossible to predict where it's gonna fall. So it's gonna go to the wire. Ah yes, one got me down. No bonus time for me. But at least I got some extra health. Yep. Just wipe out everything you see. Not being generous with your bullets being sprayed at the enemies would be, not just would be, is kind of dumb move. that. Literally applying firepower to obstacles before grabbing the spread beam, which I find to be the best gun of the game. And boss. Baba Umpulu. I don't know how to pronounce that except something like... But it's an alien thing. It has this kind of big beam attack that it uses to blast out damage to you. And of course use that big beam attack it's using. It's not particularly original attack. Now it's got this kind of... It shoots beam attacks you. It's got all these... it goes down. Yeah, and that was the ending. About as simple. Yeah, we killed them all. And the makers. Group, Spanish name meaning either from Spain or South America. And some Polish names as well. So it might have been something like a international production or something like European production. I don't know, maybe. Europe. Some of these names appear more like Czech or something name. So, but that was Biolab Wars. Short, sweet, simple, and really cheap shooter. Not cheap in a sense that how it was made, but cheap to financially just get it. And of course there would be some extra things like boss rush mode and gameplay instructions, but that was it. Short, simple interquel to all the Final Fantasy going through. See you sometimes else.